welcome to Thorough Newspaper Analysis, which is presented to you by Losico. Today, we'll discuss important articles from the newspaper of 20th April 2021. So, we have three important articles of the day. The first article is Protecting Children in the Age of Artificial Intelligence. It talks about increasing role of AI in the lives of children and how children can be protected digitally. The second article is The Ordinance Route is Bad, Repromulgation Worse. This article raises question about the practice of issuing ordinance and reissuing ordinance without parliamentary consensus. The third article is Biotech Boost for Farming. This article talks about the role of biotechnology in agriculture and how they can help in improving economic condition of farmers of our country. Lastly, we have some item in the news and flash. So if you are preparing for CLAT or any other law entrance examination, then you can definitely go through the project Maverick course and you can enroll yourself with a very nominal fee of 100 rupees. You can also download free study materials from here. You can get the link to this course in the description box of this video. So, the first article of the day is regarding the regulation of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is about programming human intelligence in machines. Artificial intelligence gathers the information and it creates perspective from the surrounding. It understands languages and its nuances. It also recognizes images. It uses the learning to reason, and also it learns from the experiences, and based on these systematic observation it makes a perception, and it also changes human behavior sometimes, and also their perceptions and preferences regarding the world. So though artificial intelligence has been a boon in a technological field in all over the world, however it is seen that it has been affecting children in various ways. First of all, these are used as honeypots by the child predator in the virtual playgrounds, and through these playgrounds, the child predators can access their system, their security, and therefore making them vulnerable. Secondly, the video games and the social network that are introducing AI system and those are in the hands of our children are promoting digital addiction. And based on these network and the video games, the fake news is conspiracy theories and the online bullying and hate speeches are promoted, and based on this also the perception of the child is framed. This generation of children are also exposed to pre-programmed toys which listen, observe our children, and also obtain their data through facial recognition, through cameras, etc. And there has been no law to govern them. Also in education system, it has been amplifying the existing problem which has been introduced because of digital divide. So there is a huge need to protect the rights of the children and to protect them from this predatory nature of artificial intelligence, which is done involuntarily or voluntarily. So there should be a balance between the good artificial intelligence and their unique vulnerabilities. There should be risk assessment of each artificial system which is exposed to the children, and there should be a multi-pronged action plan with legal and technological safeguards on the devices which are used by the children. So the author suggests that there must be a greater awareness among the stakeholders like the parents, children, educators, etc. And there must be introduction of trustworthy rating system, certification system, so as to put them in the hands of the children. And there must be a complete ban on anonymous accounts, and ethical principles of non-discrimination and fairness must be introduced. The author suggests that the National Policy for Children, which was introduced in 2013, must extend to digital space so as to safeguard the children of this country from the exposure to the artificial intelligence. So, moving ahead, the second article of the day is regarding the Ordinance Route and Repromulgation. The central government has repromulgated the ordinance that establishes the Commission for Air Quality Management in NCR and adjoining areas. So therefore, this is why this is in news, and this raises question about the practice of issuing ordinance and to make laws and reissuing without getting them ratified in the parliament. As we know, ordinance are like laws. So ordinance are laws that are promulgated by the president of India on the recommendation of the union cabinet, which will have the same effect as an act of parliament. They can only be issued when the parliament is not in session. However, this has been a practice. It has been seen that it has been a practice that the acts which cannot be passed with consensus are generally passed when the parliament is not in session. So it was framed in such a way so as to tackle exigencies when the legislature is not in session, and it should expire in a span of 6 weeks of the next meeting of the legislature, and repromulgation was completely prohibited. However, there has been relevant data how there has been a huge use of ordinance method to pass the legislation. In 1950, central ordinances were issued at an average rate of 7.1 per year. In 1990s, the average was 19.6 per year. In 2010, it was decreased to 7.9 per year. However, in last 2 years, there has been a spike, that is in 2019, 16 ordinances were passed, in 2020, 15, and in 2021, till now, there have been 4 ordinances passed by the government. In 2017, against this practice, the Supreme Court, with a 7 judge constitutional bench, has stated that repromulgation of ordinances is a fraud on the Constitution and a subversion of democratic legislative processes. However, there have been instances of violation of this judgment. For example, Indian Medical Council Amendment Ordinance 2018, which was reissued in January 2019 after being passed by one house of the parliament. So there has been no regulation basically regarding the promulgation and repromulgation of ordinance, and this is a point of concern because it transgresses the constitutional provisions and thereby boycotting the parliamentary process. So the third article is regarding biotechnology, why it is in news. So firstly, the life-saving vaccine like the Covishield and the Covaxin are product of modern biotechnology, and it has been seen that gene editing has opened up possibility of curing even the hereditary diseases. So biotechnology has come to such forum that it has widen up the scope of life on the earth, and based on it, the author suggests that the biotechnology must also be introduced into the agriculture and it must be permitted in India in whole scale. So we have 4 types of biotechnology. The first is the medical biotechnology. It talks about biotechnology applied to manufacture pharmaceuticals like enzymes, antibiotics, vaccines, and use in molecular diagnostic. There is white biotechnology or industrial biotechnology, that is a biotechnology applied to industrial and other production processes. The third is blue biotechnology or marine biotechnology, which is which has its application in marine and aquatic applications of biotechnology. And the last is green biotechnology or agricultural biotechnology. It is used in agricultural processes and products. So as we know, since 2003 there is only one type of GM crop which is permitted in India, that is BT cotton, and since its introduction, it has doubled the productivity in 6 years, and India's share globally has increased by 25% from 2014 by 2014, and which was 12% in 2002. However, the BT brinjal is still not permitted. It is under moratorium. With its use, the return of Bangladesh farmers have increased sixfold and pesticide use has increased 61%. So it is recommended for commercial use by the author. Thirdly, the GM mustard, which is still on hold, and India imports oil seeds worth rupees $10 billion annually, which is 65% edible oil requirement. So the author suggests that the GM crops must be introduced in full scale in India so as to improve the economic condition of the farmers, which has been evident from the story of the Bangladesh farmers. And also all over the world there have been many countries where GM crops have been introduced, and it has been the reason for the prosperity of the farmers. Over 100 Nobel laureates collectively have issued a statement supporting the GM crops, and the author suggests that it is the high time that Indian agriculture transforms into precision agriculture using modern tools of biotechnology. And this will not only increase farmer income, it will increase the productivity, and also it will decrease the use of pesticides. Lastly, we have some item in the news and flash. The first is NASA's helicopter. So NASA's Mars helicopter makes history with successful flight on the red planet. As per US space agency NASA, the miniature robot helicopter performed a successful takeoff and landing on Mars early today. This is the first powered controlled flight by the aircraft over the surface of another planet. Secondly, government opens up COVID-19 vaccination. So everyone above the age of 18 will now be administered COVID-19 vaccines from 1st of May. The center yesterday announced a liberalized and accelerated phase of 3 strategy of COVID-19 vaccination, and a decision in this regard was taken during the meeting chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So this was all for today. Thank you.